Well, here is what we're doing for today. We are putting alfalfa seed in the ground. Now we had wheat planted here. Put a fair amount of manure on this ground. The girls ran across it with a terra disc. We've got Andrew in here with a roller harrow. I don't know why I'm having him roller harrow this, because it is fit up good enough to just go in on top of this ground with the grain drill. Other than the texture of the dirt being a little darker, you really can't tell the difference between what the terra discs have done and what the roller harrow's doing. But we do have to drive over this ground for the next 4 years with the chopper, and we might as well have a real nice tight seed bed. So we are seeding down a WL alfalfa variety. It's a 341. 341 Harv Extra. We've had real good luck with that alfalfa seed. It runs the course here pretty good. It is rather expensive. I had one idiot over here on another farm that thought that we would go ahead and seed his little patch of ground down. And once I told him, you know, hey, it's like $250 an acre for just the seed. He goes, oh my gosh, it costs that much? Oh yeah, you idiot. It costs that much. But we won't talk about that idiot any more than we have to. So at any rate, this is the larger of the two fields here. I just got done seeding that one up there on the other side of this hedgerow. This one particular farm was broke up in 3 fields. The neighbor, he had wheat on that field there. We used to farm that one as well. He's got that tilled up. He's probably going to do the same thing. He's probably going to seed that down as well. So you can kind of see Andrew's track right here where he came across the headland. And why am I having him roll a harrow this? It's probably a waste of time. So it's kind of ironic, this field that we're in. The last time that Andrew was hooked to the roller harrow, he got hit by a dump truck on this road here. That was last year. We were seeding down the last bit of alfalfa, and we were using the roller harrow to pack in the seedings because we had a bearing issue on the roll right. Is it a roll right? I forget. Oh, I'm over in the dingweeds a little bit. We're putting alfalfa way over off the edge of the field. So, and we had a bearing issue with that roller last year. We were using it very sparingly because we had an auger bearing that we had put on it. At any rate, we were seeding ground down west of where we are. It was the last bit of ground. Andrew was bringing that roller harrow over to that farm. He was coming up this one road here. Oh, I got a stone there. I'm gonna pick that up when I start going back and forth. So you guys remind me to grab that stone right there. We don't want to hit that with a hay bind. There is no stones on this farm. We've got one of the guys with a skid steer on the other farm where we started the very first wheat that we combined this year. He's over there picking 2 pieces off. Well, at any rate, Andrew was coming up this road here and he got hit by a dump truck who was actually over in his lane. You could see the brake marks. when he grabbed onto the bolsters, and he was way over the yellow line, the truck driver was. Andrew was over the yellow line too, but he was wide. The truck driver had a lot of room to spare, however, he was over in Jared's lane. We will maybe get the drone up in the air once we get around the headlands of this field. I just kind of wanted to show you what was going on here a little bit as to what we were doing here today. So we've got, this is a rented piece of ground. This guy doesn't own this whole field, but he owns a little bit right here. So if you notice, I'm way over into his lawn a little bit there. That's all right. We're gonna seed right up tight. And then Alex will be over here with the roller in a little while, and we'll have her roll the field along with the edge of his lawn. And then every time we cut a cutting off, we'll cut right over the top of his lawn, and then he won't have any weeds growing up around the edge of his lawn. He's got a real nice Ford truck right there. I gotta get another look at it to see what year it is. It's a 52 maybe, like a 1.5 ton truck. I forget what. I don't know if I'd be able to exactly tell or not, but that's a nice old Ford truck sitting right down there. Yeah. So we'll get our headlands done. We can pop the drone up in the air here in a minute, and we'll show you how this road lays down on the other end here. So we need to pay attention as we go around the outside of this field. So Alex is getting a little bit of an earlier start on hooking on to the roller. She blew a hose on the Terra disc, and I said, you know what, I can't stop and bring tools to you, but why don't you go ahead and unhook, go home and get the roller, and you can at least get a head start on rolling and be caught right up to us here. We are due to get rain, surprise, surprise, again here tomorrow morning. We are trying to start third cutting hay. By the way, today is, I need to put the date in these videos because I get so far behind. These videos aren't like that day. When you watch this video, it is not of the day before. Today is August 14th. We got done cutting wheat a week ago yesterday, so we got done on August 6th, August 7th. We got done on a Sunday, and today is Monday, August 14th. So that's where we sit on the calendar here. We have received a fair amount of rain here from when we got done cutting wheat up until this point. We are about 5 miles south of our furthest farm that's to the north. And a week ago tonight, or was it last night, or a week ago tonight, or a week ago tomorrow night, they ended up getting over 6 inches of rain at that particular farm. Our guys ended up going over and helping the guy that rents the dairy barns over there move some manure from one pit to another, because he was about to go over the bank of his lagoon. On this particular piece of ground right here, we got about 2 inches of rain. I use Climate Field View, and we have all of our field boundaries in on Climate Field View, and then they use, because of a field boundary, and it has a geographical location tied to it, they give us a somewhat of an accurate, estimated reading as to how much rainfall we receive on each location. We have every field identified in that climate field view, and we got 2.5 inches of rain here and 6 inches of rain over on that other farm. So this fared out pretty well here. When we were over here spreading manure a week ago, this prior Saturday, they got a really strong thunderstorm that went through here. We jogged over here with a chisel plow just to kind of do damage control, and we were lucky that we didn't have any manure leave the field. Now, we inject everything, or try to inject most of it, but they did apply some manure with the spread plate on the trucks, and that manure wasn't injected. Now, this is the field here that in the prior, I think it's the prior video, I might have, no, it wasn't, yeah, I think it was the prior video. We ended up pushing a tree back into the woods that fell into the field, and that is right there. So the landowner, because again, we rent this, he has a bunch of land all tied together, and he has this staked off. What he wants to do is he wants to be able to get around the outside of the field there. So he has this staked off, which we tried talking him into just letting us seed right over to the edge. And then what he could do is just mow the field, mow the alfalfa. Oh, we got a stake that's knocked down there. I'll have to pick that up on one of my other passes here. But at any rate, but he said, no, that's okay, don't waste the seed, just stay off of that and I'll start mowing it, which that's fine. So we're almost all the way, we've almost made our continuous pass all the way around. So once we get around the field and then I get my headlands done, I could start going back and forth, and that's when I will put the drone up in the air. I will end up making 3 passes around the outside of this particular field, just because my straight passes aren't exactly perpendicular. If I try to do it straight, because of my ends aren't completely straight themselves, I end up having a triangular like type turn, and if I make 3 passes, I can get turned around a lot easier and not be so tight. So we've got another stake there, and he must have had another one here. We'll just kind of guesstimate it off here, because he's got one up there. One might have got hit right here. Damn kids with the Terra discs. But yeah, so this land here, this particular field, is tied in with the land that we have, which is just a little bit north of here, where we had grabbed all of that wire with the chopper several years ago, which that is coming out of hay here. We've got one more cutting. Yeah, we might get a second cutting. Not a second cutting. It'll be the 3rd cutting for this year, but we might end up doing a 4th. That's just on the other side of the woods here. So we've made our way all the way around. I have canceled out my boundary recording, and now we'll go ahead and lay down our second pass here. Well, we've got one more pass due around on the headlands of this field, and we'll have our headlands done. I need to fill the drill with alfalfa seed here now. We'll just kind of show you the difference between the Terra disc and the roller harrowed ground. There's not much of a difference here. Andrew sure is going to be glad to get the hell out of here before we plant any more on him, because he's coming into the headlands and he is having to lift his teeth up. So this is a 30-foot brilliant mulcher. We call it a roller harrow, and that is his last pass. This isn't the roller harrow that got hit with the dump truck. See, he's got just the rollers down. He picks the teeth up and lifts his wings up too, so that the wings don't rip and tear at the ground that's already seeded. Now, Alex will be here in a little while with the roller, and what the roller is going to do is it's going to tighten up the top of the seed bed. On this grain drill, we are just dropping the seed on top of the ground. I went to a meeting several years ago, and they said when you seed down alfalfa, really what you should do is you should be able to bounce a basketball off of the ground. If you can bounce a basketball off the ground, you have a tight enough area to seed it down with alfalfa. One of the guys that I was working with back at the time, I had a basketball in the cab with me. I deflated all the air out of it. Basketball was flat. I took a picture of it on the floor of the tractor, and I said, I just cannot get the conditions right to be able to bounce this basketball. He says, well, if you'd put a little bit of air in it, that would work a little better. But as you can see, we're really not, we're a little fluffy here. And we have gone through in the past, not in the past, I shouldn't say that. We have tried it before, didn't really notice a difference. We had went through with just the rollers down on the roller harrow, then went in with the grain drill, and then the rolls on the roller harrow afterwards. What we need to be able to try here, maybe Alex can get far enough ahead of me tonight, we should have her roll part of this field ahead of me, and then I'll plant it, and then she can roll it afterwards. If she gets caught up, she's got to do that field up there, and then this one. If she gets caught up to me, we should do a little test strip and see if that makes any bit of a difference. So we're just dropping the seed down through these little tubes. They're dropping right on the ground. This mini seed box here. Oh, we can probably do 12 to 15 acres when it's full. But I like to stop about every 6 to 8 acres and just dump in 3 to 4 bags. Therefore, I never run out. If you notice on the ends, it starts to walk back a little bit. It started to walk back on this one side because we're coming up on that side hill right there. So we can run, well, I have never tried it. Let me get this open. There we go. We could possibly, I have just not had the balls enough to try it, run this seed through the big box. However, running the seed through the big box, we could, go a lot longer without having to fill up. You could probably go a whole day or better. But that is going to run the seed down through the seed opener, and we feel it's going to bury it too deep. We have never tried putting alfalfa below the surface. We have always put alfalfa seed on top of the ground. There's John Deere drills that you can buy that dump the seed, the small seed tube right inside the big one. We had a John Deere 455. We pulled the seed tubes out and just put the tube down alongside the back of the seed opener, and it just dropped on the ground. But I don't know, whatever. We've had good luck with doing what we're doing, so we hate to change it. So we're gonna go ahead and get filled up. Looks like he's gonna be pulling out. The girls brought the fuel truck over. You can see that parked on the edge of the field in the one driveway. He's gonna go out the other driveway. And Alex should be here momentarily. So let's get filled up with seed and we'll join up with you when Alex gets here. All right, we are full. That held 3 full bags. We're putting down 23 to 25 pounds of alfalfa to the acre. Andrew, he's just pulling out. He's actually going to take the long way around. He's going to go all the way around that way. And the farm that he needs to be on is like dead east right that way. These power lines here actually go across that same farm. That it would be the Hudson farm, and he is just going up Forward Road. If we had a scout down on the bottom of the road here, we could say, hey, come on that way, but it won't take him only a few minutes to get all the way around the long way. So we'll go ahead and do the fill up thing again in 6 to 8 acres. And we'll just keep on keeping on here. Once I get my next pass done, we will be able to go back and forth. We've got a nice long field here. Once we get on the straight rows, it bangs out pretty quick here. So, yeah. Editing video at the same time. Yeah. All right, so we were on the phone here with Alex when she came up through the bad part of the road here. And we didn't have any traffic to worry about. So she's gonna get into the field and we're gonna help her get it unpinned. And she's gonna be able to start on that upper field here. She said that she has, one of these damn cylinders here is leaking. That one right there. She was awful concerned about it. We got that pin out. Yeah. We need to actually get that thrown up in the cab here. Do you have this lifted up? Yep, that's lifted up. Well, do you have that pin? No. That's the pin you're missing? Alright, so we can let that just sit there. I don't like that, but it is what it is. So, this pin here we can just set back in this hole. You got the other pin with you? I probably should have had you grab a bolt. You know what? I might have a zip tie up in the tractor that we can. Well, Andrew lost the clip to that too. So we'll just put this. Pin that. that nut go?
Right here.
All right. Here's that. We seem to have lost a couple of pins when we were packing seeds in this spring. So you put this up in the cab too. And I've got some zip ties. What we can do is just zip tie this guy right up to there. So let me get that. And then I want to look at the leak that you have going on there. It appears to be that it is probably an O-ring, which we don't really have to worry about that because that cylinder is stationary when she's on the road, and then once she turns the wheels and gets it to do its thing, it doesn't have to get used again. So we're going to go ahead and grab a zip tie to tie that. Do you have a jackknife? You don't have a jackknife? Oh, uh-oh, she's not prepared, but we'll get that. Alright. Alright, the strap ain't gonna work. So, we're gonna have her back up. She's on a little bit of a hill here. And turn it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Turn, turn, turn. No, the other way. The other way. No, the other way. All right, now back up. We want these wings to come around, and they would come around a lot easier if she was on the level. She's not really on the level here. Usually you can do it on the fly. And this is how she is gonna have to do it here. So once the machine, all right, that side's around. That's digging in a little bit. That didn't quite time itself, but that's all right. All right, now she's gonna put it down. And once it goes down, it locks the wing locks around so that that won't come undone, and then you put the wheels all the way up, and then she can go. This cylinder here, we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with that. It's a bad O-ring, so we'll get that fixed. Alrighty. Alright, so we have just topped off with some alfalfa seed. We should be good for, I don't know, 6 to 8 acres. I like to fill up in that zone. Put 3-4 bags in and I'm good. I don't have to worry about running the grain drill out of seed. Therefore, we won't see any skips. So we are about halfway across this big field here. Alex has the upper field done, the field that's on the other side of this open ditch. And she has made a couple of passes in this larger field here. So we'll go ahead and get some footage of her with the roller. I was gonna have her roll some of this field before it got planted, but you know what? We could get some rain here sometime overnight, and I don't want to slow her down at all. I just want to have her catch up to me and get as much done as we can tonight without doing any goofing around. So you can see I only got a little bit left of this field here, and she's out of the tractor. She's down to this other end. Remember I said I was going to pick up some stones here? I think she's actually picking the stones. I should have grabbed them a little earlier, but I haven't gotten up to them yet. But as you can see, this roller does a real nice job. Tightens up the slightly soft soil that is on top of the ground here. And yeah, so we do have a stone that is, we've got some geese that have landed in this field there. I don't know what she's doing, but we're gonna see. Oh, she's back moving again. I think she picked up that stone that was on the corner of the field right there. Yeah, right. Yeah. So she picked that stone up that I talked about getting earlier, and I was going to wait till I got done with the outside pass, or as we call them, headland passes. And because I didn't want to have a skip in the seating here. So she's rolling up through. She's going back and forth. She'll just jog up to the part in the field there where she kind of left off with. She's kind of like Andrew. She hates to be where I'm at because of the worrying about where the grain drill has and has not been. She does not have guidance on that tractor, and look how straight she's pulling that roller. And she's not even going again. She's not even going with my passage. She's going against it a little bit. So just look how straight that is right there. We're gonna fly over right there. Look how straight that is. Nice and straight. Got a little bit of maybe a 6-inch overlap there or so. 3 to 6 inches. Doing pretty good. But at least this job here, you can kind of see where you have been. Running the roller harrow, it is really hard to see where that roller harrow has been when you're packing seedings in, especially when you get into after the sun goes down. So she's going to be able to catch up to us rather quickly. She's running 7-8 miles an hour, and she doesn't have to stop every 6 acres to 8 acres to fill up with seed. So we are actually almost to the other end of the field. We'll swing around here. You can kind of see where she has been and where she has not been. You can see my tracks across the field. I pulled into the field, unfolded, went up to the upper field here, planted that one first so that I didn't have to drive across the field that I had already planted. Alright, so we're into the end of the field there. You can hear the tone go off. That to come into planted ground, or the recording. Actually, that tone was the recording stopping for the grain drill. All we have is a proximity switch on the grain drill, and that allows us to record our recording. record the work that the drill is doing. So I'm going to be almost up to my headland pass here around the field, and what I'll be able to do my next pass when I come in behind this house here. Actually, I'm into it right now. Yeah, I am into it right now. So I could actually start going back and forth on these short rounds. So I'm going to lift up the right hand drill, center drill, left drill, turn around. Disrupt what Alex has packed already. And then what we're going to do is we're going to clean up these short rounds here. Then I won't have to come back into this end of the field. Guidance, turn back on. Coming across my headland pass. We're going to go ahead and drop all 3 drills at the same time. I do have the ability to raise and lower each drill individually here. So we've got just a couple of acres here to take care of on these short rounds. Then we'll be back going again on the long rounds. Not that you really need to see too much of this grain drill action rolling here. But we're going to go ahead and land the drone here in a hot minute. Pull it into our headland here. We're in the planted ground. We'll go ahead and turn the grain drill around and go back the other way. All right, you guys get the gist of what we're doing here. I'd like to fly over and show you what Alex is doing a little more. And that's what we're going to do right meow. So she's coming down through the field there. She's knocking this out in a freaking hurry. A real big hurry here. We'll see if she notices the drone. Maybe we can catch a little wave from her. I doubt it though. Now you might be saying, geez, Eddie, that's awful big power to have on that roller. Well, what are we supposed to do? Go home and get the 40-20, put the duals on it, bring it out here. That would make a nice video. But, I don't know if I had stated earlier in the video or not, but she blew a hose on the Terra disc. I was planning on having her hook onto this roller any hoo-how, and it just happened to work out that she ended up hooking onto it a little earlier than what I anticipated on. Yeah. I kind of lose track of where I'm at, and I lose track of where she's at. I've only got 1 or 2 passes left here. I've got more battery left than what I thought. It's just hard to believe. But yeah, this tractor here is an 8360R. It is 1 generation in behind what this 8320R is. This tractor doesn't have DEF on it. However, the 8320 does have DEF. So this tractor is pre-DEF. Obviously with the number, the model number, it is 360 horsepower. It has been an exceptionally well-traveled, or well-tractor. It does have an IVT transmission in it. After the first year that we had it, we did have to have that IVT transmission rebuilt. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's what you deal with when you buy a used piece of equipment. Again, check out that guest row. Doing pretty good. Check out how straight that is. Pretty good. That is no guidance. She is actually not running on the same guidance track that I'm running on. Because I say guidance track because she could actually just follow my pass in the field, but you can see that she's running on a little bit of an angle opposed to what I'm running at. And that's actually a good practice to get into. You kind of run just a little bit differently than the implement that ran before you. Therefore, you don't run the risk of running in the same tracks as the other implement had run in, and it kind of crisscrosses the operations that you have going on. So we're going to go ahead and watch her turn around. I don't know if she's going to go right back and forth or what, but we need to get the drone back to the planting tractor here. I have got just one more short, tiny pass to clean up with here on this end that I am at. Down by the house here, and then I can start going back again on my long rounds. For a brief second there, the drone decided that it wanted to go into the return to home function because I lost reception between the remote and the drone here. And then of course I'm not paying attention to where Alex is at here, and yeah, I'm running around on this one end of the field here. So I've got just a little chunk here to get, so we'll go ahead and fly down, show you what we're working with here. I don't know how Alex does it, but oh, she lacks a little bit right there. She made a couple of lands up, and yeah, she's got a little skipper there that she's going to have to finish up with, but she's running pretty good in parallel with her passes there. If she had guidance, that would work a little better for her, but she'll just have to clean that up on one of her passes rather than screwing around and going right back and forth. She has made up a couple of lands there, and she's, I don't know, what she's turning right. So we're going to go ahead and get on this guidance track. That one, or is it my upper one? No, it's my upper one. We gotta go up a ways. There we go. Yeah. Alrighty, so we're gonna fly the length. We're gonna catch up to us here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to land the drone when we get the grain drill down to the other end of the field here. Got the short rounds all done. I'm pretty sure that Alex will recognize that, and she'll probably work for a little while getting short rounds cleaned up, and then she could start going back and forth on the long rounds as well. So we've only got just a few acres left here from the grain drill over to the road, and that will do it for this field. And then I'm going to move on to the next farm, and that is gonna do it for this segment of running the drone in the field here. So we'll catch up with you here in a little while, but I need to shut the recording off and concentrate on getting this drone landed here. So we'll catch up with you in a little while here. Well, we have parked for the night. They're talking rain tomorrow. And we'll just have to see how that turns out. If it doesn't rain, we're gonna chop some hay. If it does rain, and we don't get that much, we might be able to get over on this ground here before we can actually chop any hay. Andrew has his tractor parked here next to the smaller Terra disc. Sarah was Terra disc in this field here. She's about done, and we got to see what hose we need to work on this smaller Terra disc. My truck is parked over in there by the old cow barn there somewhere, unless I don't see Sarah here. So the previous farm we were on was just on the other side of them trees there. We need this tractor for the merger. If it doesn't rain, we'll have to come over and get it in the morning. I didn't want them pulling it out of here tonight and then have to bring it back here for tomorrow. I got an abrasion right there. I'm gonna have to figure this thing out here in the morning, but I can come over here early and gather that. Alex thought that them hoses went down through that hitch there and went all the way back there. Hopefully they are joined up here somewhere. We have replaced a few hoses on this already, and yeah. But this field my brother put lime on, and they didn't plow this one the first day that they were over here, and Sarah's just finishing it up here now. You can see her just coming over the top of the hill there. This is all BMR silage corn over here on this farm, and they were just over here this morning putting fungicide on it. So yeah, just look this roll of harrow over here for a brief moment. Now that roll of harrow that Andrew had that got hit by the truck, that I'm just looking at that one bearing there, that's not good. We got to slide that down a little bit. There isn't much of that bearing on that shaft there. Oh well. But this beam right here on that one roll of harrow broke the U-bolt, and it bent that back. We straightened it, fixed it, put a couple of hoses on it, and yeah. So the sun is starting to go down, and you can't quite see Sarah there, but looks like she's on her last pass there. All right, that is gonna do it for this video. I want to thank all of you for watching, and we will catch you at the next one. Sarah loves that tractor and Terra disc. Yeah. We got to get Alex one. Something a little bigger than what she's been using. It's in the works. It's in the works.